It's been healing in so many ways to be like, I'm going home. Like, I am leaving Richmond. I'm going back home and I'm excited about it and I feel good about it.
This is the In Your Favor podcast where I share lessons I've learned on my walk with Christ to help you navigate yours. Listen, we may not always get it right and we won't always have the answers, but trust it's working in your favor.
Hey guys, welcome back to the In Your Favor podcast. I am your host, Amanda, and this is a special birthday episode, y'all. Like, I literally did not have plans to do this. However, it has been on me all day. My birthday is in 2 days, and I have a lot of feelings, but I also wanted to just walk you guys through. This has been probably like one of the hardest years of my life. And I think as I reflect on what this next year looks like, and as I reflect on the last year, I was like, yeah, this needs to be an episode. And so I have been fighting for the last hour now, trying to get my setup. I moved into my room, like my podcast setup. I moved it into my room because the lighting was so much better in here. And now all of a sudden it doesn't work. So I've been fighting for the last hour trying to get this set up. So we are just doing this on my DJI. It's not connected to the podcast software I paid for because it's not working. It's not connected to anything. I'm gonna just talk and then I'm gonna have to take the time to edit this on my birthday trip. But I feel like it's important for me to get this out, and I feel like if it's there and it's impressing on me, it's for a reason. And so, yeah, let's dive into it. This year has really been like probably the hardest year of my life. I definitely have struggled a lot. If you have been on this journey with me, like intimately, and my close friends and my family, like I truly am so grateful for you. But just to invite other people into kind of where I have been. After I launched the podcast earlier this year, I feel like it was attack after attack after attack after attack. Okay, like I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. But one of the things that was under attack heavily was my mind, and I struggled mentally all year long, like off and on, just truly fighting my mind. And like, I've talked about my mental health before, and I've shared kind of like I've experienced bouts of depression, anxiety. I used to be on anxiety and depression medicine, and I have been off of that for some years now. But this year was like truly just so hard for me. I'm like, I don't know, genuinely don't know how I made it, other than like community, the Lord first, but just community, really receiving from my community has been like, I would not be here without them at all. And it took me a while to realize like it was something deeper than just sadness. Like, it wasn't like anything happens. Like, I was like, I am closer to God than I ever have been. Like, I am truly like feeling like I'm getting where God needs me to be. Like, I'm like, okay, like I'm good. I'm not just sad, right? Like, I didn't feel sadness or grief or anything. It was just like my mind was under attack. And so, you know, as always, I'm showing up and still functioning, still creating content in this mindset of like, if I just push through and I push through and I push through, like eventually the thoughts are going to go away. I won't feel like this. I don't know what this dark cloud, this heaviness that just came out of nowhere, it'll go away. Like, I just can't give it the attention that it's demanding of me, because if I give it the attention, I'm going to fall into this darkness that I just can't. But I didn't even realize I was already there. Like, I was already like functioning through it, but it had already arrived and like shown up in my life. And like, I was like battling like these passive like suicidal thoughts of like, I would never like do anything to hurt myself, but like, I don't really care if something happens to me. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but like, you know, if something happens to me, it's fine. And it's like, that's not me. That's not how I think. And so that's how I knew something deeper spiritually was taking place. And I was like really struggling. And it wasn't until I like sat down with my therapist and I was explaining, you know, some of the thoughts I was having and like where I was, and like saying things out loud sometimes will give you the perspective you need. And like for my therapist to be like, we should probably do something about this. Like, this is concerning me. That was the first time I really was like, oh, like this is a problem. And it took me a really long time to kind of like get myself out of that hole. And I am like, Jesus in therapy all day long. Like, there are certain things that you need the reinforcements for, okay? Like, you absolutely need them. It is not a question. It is not a maybe. It's like, get the support that you need, get the resources that you need, absolutely need. Like, I do not play with that. Like, please get the help that you need when you need it. You don't need to like fight through everything. You see this? All of a sudden everything wants to go off and send a notification. Like, this is like the warfare that has been happening in my life. Like, I genuinely feel like nothing has been easy. Like, even doing the things that I feel like the Lord is calling me to do, like, nothing has been easy. I'm like, granted, whoop-de-doo, right? I still got to do it, but it is so frustrating feeling like I have my computer on D&D. Why am I still getting notifications? Siri, why are you popping up trying to talk in the middle of me doing this after I've already told y'all that I've been fighting to record this for at least an hour? So it's just like, anyways, back to what I was saying. Get the help that you need when you need it. Do not let shame, fear, stigma, whatever keep you from getting the support that you need. I'm gonna leave it there. But I say that to say this has been one of the hardest years of my life, and I was really struggling, and I really needed the support in the community to kind of get myself back to where I wasn't as heavy. And one of the things like that was adding to that is that I was really struggling with this apartment all year long, y'all. Like, just life update. I'm gonna just run through all the things, because this year, when I tell you, I keep saying it, but like, this year was so, my comfort was challenged in a way that I genuinely had never experienced to this level, this way, right? Like, there's always things that have happened that I'm not comfortable, but you know what I mean. And so, yeah, I was just struggling. And so one of the things that was really adding to that was my bed. I had gone through this whole process to get a new mattress. At the end of last year, I started the process to file a warranty claim because I had a bed that wasn't that old, like maybe 2 years. And it was like starting to like bunch up or whatever, the fabric or whatever. And I was like, that's not normal. I put in a warranty claim, and they said, yes, this is a faulty mattress. Like, here's a credit to go get a new mattress. I got a new mattress. My back had started to hurt like late last year in different places, right? Like, I had upper back pain and I had lower back pain. The upper back pain I started earlier last year. The lower back pain started like late last year. And I was like, all right, now I really need to do something about this. Like, this is a problem. So I put the warranty claim in. I go to get the new mattress. And so because that mattress had been hurting my back, I was like, I need something a little bit more firm. Get the mattress in January, which this is another way that pride really snuck in, because the man was like, you don't need to necessarily overcorrect for this bed. However, like, if you feel like you need some more support, like, this is a faulty mattress, that's why it feels so soft. I was like, no, give me the harder bed because I really need the support. Like, I'm really struggling. I was like, I know better because I'm already skeptical of salesmen. I go ahead and I get the harder mattress, and the harder mattress makes it worse. And so I had that bed for maybe like a month. I'm like, y'all need to come get this bed because this bed is hurting my back. And so they brought me another, I shouldn't say they brought me, they came and got that one. I picked out a new mattress. But even the process of doing that, right, it was a whole thing because it was a warranty claim. It's like, you can't change it. You can change it. You have this limitations and that limitations. And I was like, okay, I need a new bed. I paid a lot of money for this bed, and this bed does not work, so I need y'all to come get it. And so again, they figured it out, thankfully. I get the second bed. The second bed, also not comfortable. My back is hurting. Like, I'm so sore. Can't wake up. I start physical therapy, and I'm in physical therapy twice a week, and I'm spending so much money, like so much money trying to see the physical therapist and do stretches. And like, I went to the doctor and they give me like muscle relaxer, and I can't take the muscle relaxer because it makes me drowsy. I have too much stuff to do to be walking around drowsy, but I'm also like, I'm in pain. So I was just like struggling with comfort in my body, and like my body was literally like hurting all the time. And it's like, I'm in pain all the time. And when you are in pain all the time, like, you cannot think clearly. You can't think about the basic things when you are physically hurting. And like, I have so much more respect for people who are chronically ill or like have chronic illnesses, because it's a struggle. It truly is a struggle. And I was hurting so bad, and like, it was so uncomfortable to even do little things. And so I go through physical therapy, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I returned that bed, and my doctor had advised like, hey, this bed isn't the best bed. Like, you should look at getting another bed. Like, we can do all the exercises we want, but if you don't change the bed, it's not going to work. So I go through, I change the mattress or whatever, and I get a new bed, and I got a bed from Costco, and I've done so much research. I'm like, okay, this bed is going to be the bed. Like, I'm going to get the bed. That bed comes, that bed I had for, as soon as I took it out of the box, I was like, I know this isn't it. And that bed was too soft. It was supposed to be medium firm, but it clearly wasn't, because it was so soft, like so soft. So then I'm like frustrated and hurting. And throughout all of this time, like, I had been sleeping on the floor in my apartment, like making pallets and like just trying to find comfort, because the bed was hurting me so bad that I couldn't. I had slept on my couch. I blow up mattress I borrowed from a friend. Like, I was genuinely like trying everything to find comfort in this apartment, because I was genuinely hurting. And long story short, that bed didn't work. I took that bed back, and I finally have the bed that I have now. But it was like an all year process. Thankfully, I am sleeping, bless the Lord. But through all of that, there were so many other things as well. Like, I had a spider nest in my ceiling where I was working one day. I look up and there's like 50 baby spiders in a web in my ceiling. I had bugs. I ordered pots and pans. The pots and pans came broken. Like, I was just struggling with so many different things in this apartment. Like, I felt like I no longer was comfortable in here. I ordered a couch. The couch came, and like, after not even a month, the couch is like sinking, and it's like, I can't get comfortable here. I can't be comfortable here. And I truly believe like the Lord is not going to allow you to like get comfortable in a place that he doesn't want you to be. And so I was like, Lord, I'm open to whatever it is that you want to do. And this apartment was an answered prayer. Like, I was literally like marching around this building, like the walls of Jericho, to praying for the Lord to make a move in. I had already lived here, but I needed more space. And so this unit became available a few years ago, and it was listed at a price. I was scrolling, and they were like, yes, if you find a unit that is bigger, or like, you know, that you want to move into, like, just let us know, like, we'll make the adjustment, because I had signed to renew my lease or whatever. So they were like, let us know. And so I was scrolling one night, this unit popped up, and it was listed at a price that was significantly lower than what I had seen it at before. And so I screenshot it and I emailed them and was like, hey, you know, this is what it is. Like, can I move into this? And they sent me back, and they're like, actually, that unit is renting at this price, which was like a few $100s more. And I was like, well, can I get it at the price that it was showing last night? And they were like, if you sign right now, like, yeah, if you sign today, you can get it. And so I had, in the midst of that, right, I had been praying for more space, and like this unit opened up. It was beautiful. But one of my prayers this year was like, Lord, I don't want to hold on to the last blessing, the last thing, the last miracle in an effort to keep my comfort if you are pulling me into something else. And so I was like, full surrender, like, whatever it is you want to do, like, I'm going to do it, because I can't keep going like this, trying to fight for something that you are trying to take out of my hands. And so at that point, I was like full surrender, right? And so I was over the fight, basically. And so I say all that to say, the Lord is not going to allow you to get comfortable in a place that he doesn't want, like, you're no longer supposed to be. And so as I surrendered, I started to have these thoughts and the revelation that maybe I need to reevaluate where I am. And one of the things that happens, like, as my birthday approaches, I start to like get a little bit of anxiety of like, where are you in life? Like, where are things? What are you doing? Like, what have you accomplished? What have you not accomplished? Like, I get that like feeling in me. However, this particular decision that I'm about to share, I didn't feel like it was coming from the birthday anxiety. Like, I felt it in like a deeper, like, soul type of like, this is the right thing for you. And so I decided to move, and I'm in the process of moving. I'm leaving Richmond, and I am moving back home to live with my parents. And that initially brought a lot of shame, and I struggled so hard the last few weeks since making the decision to just like own it and feel good about it, because it feels like it goes against everything that I had worked so hard to like create in my mind of who I am, and all of this like expectation that I had put on myself about where I would be and like what I would be doing. It's like, it doesn't look anything like what I thought it would look like. And I'm like, how could I be going home? But one of the things that I was reminded of is like, I am so blessed, y'all. Like, I am truly a blessed girl. I can't complain at all about how good God has been to me, and the work that the Lord has done in the relationship with my parents over the last 2 years, the things that the Lord has revealed to me about myself, the work that he has done in me and my heart and my mind and my spirit. Like, when I say God has been so good to me, God has been so good to me. Like, I genuinely have watched God's tangible love like come to life in my life. Like, he loves Amanda, and I felt like I had to do it all on my own for so long. Like, I've shared on this podcast before about I graduated high school early and went to college at 17 and have been on my own a large period of that time of just feeling like I have to grind out. I got to get it. I got to prove that I can take care of myself. I can do it on my own. And that was such a trap, like such a trap. And so this decision, like, it's so humbling to be like, I want to go home. I want to come out of survival mode. And the last few years of my life have been so challenging, going through a divorce and like picking up like single Amanda, like, oh, I'm back on my own, like no one to split bills with, like taking care of all the responsibilities on your own, getting laid off, then getting a job, getting laid off again. And I feel like I have just been in this like survival mode cycle of like trying to find stability and trying to find like solid ground. Granted, I know the Lord is my rock. He's always going to be my solid ground, but like in the physical, right? Like finding that solid of like, oh, I'm good. I can take the weight off and have a deep sigh. Like, I haven't had the deep sigh yet. And I realized that my nervous system was so shot of being like in fight or flight for the last 3-4 years that no wonder the little things were such a struggle for me. Like, yeah, I can't think about what I want for dinner because the cognitive load that I'm carrying, my nervous system is literally like overwhelmed by the thought of even picking out what clothes to wear, right? Like, I genuinely was struggling to make little decisions, and it just compounded. And so this decision was one that I felt like I needed. And I'm like, it's been healing in so many ways to be like, I'm going home. Like, I am leaving Richmond. I'm going back home, and I'm excited about it, and I feel good about it. And I've just had so many revelations and so much confirmation from the Lord, who's been so kind to even like remind me that home is an option. But through that, the Lord had really showed me the word panning. And one of the ways that God speaks to me is through repetition, right? And so when the Lord shows me something multiple times, I'm like, oh, okay, like I need to pay extra close attention to that. And like in this season where I've really been like, I don't know, like, do I not? Like, what are you doing? What do I need to do? Like, just really trying to get answers from the Lord. We've been having a lot of conversations. And one of the things that the Lord showed me, and he said the same thing multiple ways. Again, repetition, that's how God speaks to me. But one of the things that the Lord showed me was the word panning. And there was one day I was watching this video, because y'all know I'm a music girly. I love me some music. And I was watching this video of an artist I like talking about how she was like making the song. And she's like going through the different layers, and she's talking about it. And she's like, yes, this is called panning. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know why it stuck out to me. That same day, I'm watching a documentary, and this kid, he's a videographer, and he had like filmed his life. He gets diagnosed with colon cancer, and he's young, and he's like documenting his whole journey of fighting this battle with colon cancer. And he's a filmmaker. And so as he's filming, he's describing to his friend, like, hey, I need you to help me get this shot. And he was like, yeah, dude, like, I need you to do it this way. And he's like, it's called panning. And I'm like, okay, why is panning coming up? Like, this feels random. But it was twice, literally in the same day, with like hours apart, of where like it came up to me. So I'm like, all right, Lord, I need to pay attention. And so I looked up what panning means. And like, at first I was seeing like definitions that I knew, like, right, like panning the camera. Panning, it was talking about the layering of music that I had seen in the video, but there was another definition that had came up, and it was talking about gold mining, or like looking for gold. And it was talking about the process that they will put the material through, the sediment through, to sift off what's no longer useful, to reveal the heaviest part, which is the gold or the silver or whatever mineral it is that they are like mining for. And I was like, I feel like that's where the Lord has had me this whole year. It's been like a season of panning and like vigorous shaking of like removing anything that is not going to be useful to where the Lord is like sending me. And he's broken down a lot of things within myself, as I've shared along this journey of like, he's like speaking to me all the time. He's doing a work in me all the time. Like, this is not just like, I'm here to talk to y'all. Like, a lot of what I share are things that I've been through, but things that God is revealing to me in like real time. Like, I'm sharing it as I'm learning it, if he says to share it, right? So it's like, he's really been panning and pruning and breaking off so many things that are not going to serve me in the next season. And I truly believe that as I have walked through this year, and as he's been like refining and working on my heart and working on my mind and working on my habits and like all of these things, it's like he's trying to get to the thing that is the weighty part, the thing that matters, the thing that carries the weight, which is the heart, and the heart of the relationship that I have with him, and just really trusting in him and him alone. And like everything else has to fall away. And like, he's been tearing down idols and tearing down walls that I had built up. And it's like, I am so grateful to be where I am now, making the decision, right, to go home. I feel a little bit like Abraham in the sense of like, I don't know what's home. I haven't lived there in almost 10 years. Like, I don't know what's there. I don't know who's there, right? Like, I'm from a small town, and like, I have a few friends that are still local, but like, I don't know what's there. But I feel like God is really saying, like, I'm sending you to a place that I'll show you. And it's not necessarily the physical place that he's going to show me, but it's a spiritual place. It's going to be a time for me to really like have that deep sigh, but rest in him and trust in him. And it's a temporary thing. I'm not gonna be there forever, y'all, so don't freak out or anything, but it's where I need to be right now. And I'm excited to be able to walk into it with a pure heart, with a forgiving heart, with an open mind, and just knowing that God's got me. He's never failed me, he's never forsaken me, he's never left me, and he's not gonna do that now. But I'm also realizing the tension between the grief of the life that I've created here in Richmond, and the joy of the fact that I get to walk into something new in this new season, and all that he's already showed me that will come from walking into it. Is like, man, like, I'm holding space for both right now, and that's hard. And as I go into 33 and as I walk into this birthday, it has really just been so loud in my like heart and in my mind of just like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not what I thought it was going to be, right? Like, God has shifted away the things, and now I'm here and I'm standing and I'm like, okay, this is 33. And so that grief again has come up of like, I'm not where I thought I would be. This doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. The word says, like, many are the plans of man, but the Lord's prevails. And so it's like, whatever he wants to do, I'm willing to do it. I'm open to doing it, right? Like, I'm not going to fight him. And I'm okay with that now, right? I like totally am okay with it. It's just, you know, navigating the grief has been a journey, and it's one that I'll walk through and I'll continue to walk through, and I'm okay with it. Honestly, like, grief is not something that I want to fight. It's something that I want to see what it reveals, because I know why it's hard to leave the known place in my life. But I also feel like it reveals a lot of the fear of what is unknown. And I know it's going to look so different. My friends are here, my life is here, right? But it's also like, I'm still going to have the same friends. I'm still going to be available to them. They're still going to be available to me. So it's like, what's the fear that is lying underneath there? And yeah, like, I'm excited. I literally had someone message me earlier today, and they were like, I just love this like space that you're in, and like I feel like you're glowing and like really radiating joy. And I was sharing with them that I feel the lightest that I have felt in a very long time. Like, after I made the decision that it's okay to go home, I literally felt a weight lifted. Like, I felt so much lighter, and I was wrestling so hard. I was fighting it for so long, and I had told my apartment, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna renew my lease. They sent the paperwork over, and I genuinely could not sign it. Like, I couldn't sign. I had so much anxiety. And it's like the day that they emailed me to say, hey, like, you need to sign it, or we can't like regenerate this lease at this rate, like it's gonna go up, and like all these things, I literally like bawled, and I was so sad, because it was like I knew what I had to do. And it was the reality settling in of like, you've got to do it. But at the same time, it was like, yes, I can do it. Like, it's so weird to like explain, but it was like, yeah, I can do it. And so I feel good. And like, for someone to see that the Lord, like, I have experienced, literally, I said with her, I was like, you know, thank you for like calling that out and sharing that with me. But I was like, I genuinely have experienced the tangible joy of the Lord again. And I can't say that that's where I was for a lot of this year. And I know that probably is like crazy to people, because it's like I would never outwardly express that or share that. But this year was just like so hard. It was so hard. But to see how God has been so faithful, and to see how he has like truly like nursed every wound, and like cared for every single part of this whole year, even the hardest parts. Like, he has just been right there, and like reminding me and affirming where I am is where I'm supposed to be, even in the move. Like, he has been just like, daughter, I see you and I love you, and your effort is not in vain, and your service is not in vain, and your love and your pour is not in vain. Like, he has been so faithful and kind to me. And when I think about the goodness of the Lord, like, I genuinely, like, I'm like, I can't believe sometimes there was ever a period of my life where I wanted to be apart from him. And that is the beautiful part of turning a new age, and like having another birthday, and like truly turning this chapter, is like, I'm reflecting on where I was even a year ago, right? Like, I've grown so much even in the last year, but like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, the version of Amanda that arrived in Richmond is not the woman that I am now. And it's like, there has been so much growth, and God has been like literally had his hands on me the entire time, even when I wanted so desperately to be apart from him. It's just like, I can walk into this season full of faith, knowing that he's got me, and I am right where he needs me to be. And regardless of what is on the other side of this move, and regardless of what the next year brings, like, I am genuinely so excited to just be a daughter. And like, every sense of the word, like, to be a daughter for my parents who is not harboring the unforgiveness and the anger and the frustration, but to receive their love in a new way, and for our relationship to grow even further and even deeper, but to also be a daughter to the Father, and to truly not feel like I have to be the provider, to truly feel like I don't have to have all the answers. And there's been a part of me that has had moments of walking in that, but there's a part of me that has been in such survival mode that I truly don't feel like I was able to receive all that God really wanted to do for me, because I was still in a season of just being so traumatized and so hurt and so scared of losing stability in so many ways, that I was like, I just have to work harder. I have got to figure it out. And like, yeah, I had to bind up all of that shame and throw it out the window, because it's a lie. I don't, and I'm not. So I am no longer the man of the house. I am no longer wearing the cape. I am no longer trying to be everything and nothing to myself. And so this is my way of just having the deep sigh. I feel like I can share because I've come up for air. I hate when I'm like, I feel like I can share because I can now come up for air and be like receptive to the season that I'm walking into. And yeah, here's to the vigorous shaking, to the pruning, to the cutting, removing all that no longer serves me. God has sifted it, and will continue to sift it all away. And I'm excited to just receive the joy and walk in the joy and the excitement of another year. Your girl loves a birthday, okay? Like, I'm about to head out right now. I leave in the morning, I should say, for a trip. And by the time this is posted, I'm gonna be gone. And I'm just excited to go into it and relax and feel like I can rest without the weight and the heaviness that was weighing me down. And so this podcast, y'all, has been is all about, right? Because the podcast isn't going anywhere either. So I don't also know why I have this and feel like I need to talk into it, because as I shared, this hasn't been set up because it wasn't working. So I'm using this mic, but I feel like I'm still like, hey y'all. But this podcast was created, right? Because one of the things that I have learned on this journey is that we won't always get it right, and we won't always have the answers. Like I say it every single episode. And this season for me has been one of like, I don't have all of the answers, but Lord, I trust you. And if this is where you are sending me, I'm going to go. And my obedience is far more valuable and deemed worthy in your eyes than any sacrifice that I could ever give you. Like if I sacrifice everything and I literally ignore every command you give me, like I'm not any closer to you. And so it's like, I genuinely am like obedience over sacrifice every single time. And this is where I truly feel like the Lord is sending me. So I'm like, I'm going to be obedient. But one of the things is like, I don't have all the answers. I don't know what it looks like at home. I don't know how my life is going to look like. I guarantee it's not going to look like this. And like, the aesthetics and the vibe of like, yes, bright lights. Like I'm going home to my parents' house. I'm going to my childhood bedroom. Okay. Like, let's be so for real. Like, I don't know how my comfort is going to be or anything like that, but I know I'm safe. I know I'm loved. I know I have a place to go back to, and I'm going to walk into it. But I don't want to lose sight of what this podcast is, which is why I'm sharing. And so this is a season, y'all, of me genuinely like, it don't make sense on paper. It don't. I said, are you sure? But this is what it's about. And this is what faith looks like sometimes, is truly just walking into the unknown and trusting that the Lord will handle the rest. And so I'm going to close the way that I always do and send you all off with the most love that I could possibly share through the screen, because y'all, we may not always get it right and we won't always have the answers, but trust it is working in your favor. I love you so much. Bye.